Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tech Flow. I'm Mo. Thank you for joining me. So today what we're going to be discussing is which iPhone to get and which iPhone is best and from whom is best for. So this year Apple has released 5 brand new iPhones in the year as a whole. So this is the most amount of iPhones Apple has ever released in 1 year. So with that being said, there's going to be a lot of choices and decisions to make depending on whether you're getting the phone for yourself or whether you're getting it for someone else. And I'm just going to break down for you what I believe each iPhone and who each iPhone is for. So let's get right into it. So let's first talk about the phones Apple has released this year. They released the iPhone SE earlier in the year around March, April, and then later on in the fall they released 4 more iPhones: iPhone 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. So with that, again, 1 plus 4, 5, simple math. All right, so now let's get right into it. So the iPhone SE second gen, let's talk about that one first, because that one, even when it came out, had a little bit of controversy where some people complaining and being angry that it's such an old form factor. Why is Apple re-releasing it? What's the idea behind it, etc., etc. So it's similar to when the first iPhone SE came out. It was meant for people, what I believe is meant for people who are in love with that old form factor, who don't want to have the form factor we had since the iPhone 10, which is with the notch, no home button, etc., etc. So they like their form factor, they love it that way, and maybe their iPhone 6 or 7 or 6S or 6S is getting a little old, running slow on them. So what Apple decided to do was just change a few things in the inside. So from the outside perspective, the iPhone SE and then the iPhone 7, 8 all look exactly the same. It's almost impossible to tell them apart unless you probably turn them around in the back. So the physical form factor is the same. The only thing Apple really changed was the besides like the normal things like the radios and stuff like that, was also the chip that's inside of it. So that one has, I believe, an A13 chip inside of it, or A14, but I believe it is an A13 chip inside of it, which is one of Apple's latest processors. It was found in the iPhone 11 series. So fantastic processor, very fast, very capable of doing any day-to-day tasks. So if you know someone, or maybe you yourself are someone who just loves the old form factor, you love that fingerprint button, you love the simplicity of the design, and you just don't want to have to go through the whole learning curve of going buttonless and getting used to Face ID, especially during these times with masks, then the iPhone SE Gen 2 is definitely for you or for someone else. Like me personally, I got it from my mom, who has been probably using the iPhone since like the iPhone 4. So it's for her to get used to like that whole new design would that would take forever. So something like that would be easy for her. And I also got it from someone else back home, like a younger person, and for young people it's very good too. Like maybe it might be their first device, and it's only $400, so it's very easy, well, not as expensive as the other lineup, just to get into it and be able to have that. So now let's move on to the next phone. So the next phone we're going to be talking about is the iPhone 12 mini. So the iPhone 12 mini is Apple's smallest phone out of all the newest phones. I believe it's about 5.4 inches in diameter. The phone is very good. It does come with a few compromises. Depending on who you are, you might actually see those compromises as benefits. So again, it is a smaller form factor, so that means smaller keyboard, smaller battery, smaller RAM, so amount of RAM, but actually has the same amount of RAM as the iPhone 12 and the 12 at the iPhone 12 at 4 gigabytes of RAM. So the iPhone 12 mini, I would suggest it for someone who does like the new designs of the newer phones, who does love Face ID, who loves the seamless the symmetry of the phone. And again, with the new squared body, it has the same exact body. It has the same exact cameras actually as the 12 and the 12. As the iPhone 12. So you're not losing out on much. Again, it's just a smaller body, and that alone is a selling point for many people, and might be a selling point for someone that or maybe for yourself. A lot of people have been raving about it. There are some concerns about the battery being a little bit too small, but again, you know and you know who you're getting for. So depending on how they use their phone, that battery may be able to last them all day long. So again, it's a smaller phone, so it might not be the best for like watching movies or playing games and things like that. But if you are someone who likes the new form factor, who just loves a small, easy, compact phone, easy to put in your pocket, easy to pull out at any time, easy to without one-handed usage. So you're like texting with one hand, or just scrolling through social media with one hand, not having to worry about reaching the top of the corner to get to the control center with like the bigger phones where you have to do that with 2 hands. Then the iPhone 12 mini might just be the phone for you, or that person that you're looking to get the phone for. All right, so now iPhone 12 mini starts at $699 if you get it with a carrier discount, but if you get it just unlocked with no carrier discount or anything, then it starts at $729. So now let's go ahead and talk about the iPhone 12s, which I believe is going to be for most people, to be honest, because it does have a lot of the benefits of the Pro models and at a cheaper price. So let's get right into it. So the iPhone 12 has the same exact processors as the more expensive models. It's a 6.1 inch display, slightly smaller than the iPhone 12 Pro. I believe it has the same exact battery size as the iPhone 12 Pro as well. And the only thing it's really missing is that LiDAR sensor and then that third telephoto camera lens. And it does come with a glossy back as opposed to the matte finish black, and it's aluminum around it as opposed to stainless steel. Some people like the aluminum a little better around the device because you don't have to worry about fingerprints and stuff like that on the stainless steel, even though stainless steel is a stronger material and it should last you longer. The only thing is, again, because it's stainless steel, the fingerprints do show a lot easier on those devices. So now the iPhone, again, it does have also the A14 chip. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. The battery is comparable to the battery in the iPhone 12 Pro, so you should be getting 7 to 8 hours of usage on the device itself. The device is super speedy. It can pretty much keep up with the iPhone 12 Pro model. Again, they both have the same chip. The only difference may be like keeping apps open for longer, because the iPhone 12 Pro model does come with 6 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to 4 gigabytes of RAM on the iPhone 12. But again, the iPhone 12 is a fantastic device. Again, the only thing you're going to be missing out on is a LiDAR sensor, which it is useful in some cases, but it's not the most hard component that you're going to need if anything. And then you have the telephoto lens that you'll be missing out, which gives you that 2 times optical zoom. Again, if you think 2 times is not even that much, but if you like it, then it might be worth it for you. But then again, if you want that, you're gonna have to upgrade to the 12 Pro, which is, again, you're gonna be spending another $100, and it might not be worth just for an extra single camera, unless like it's really important for you or whoever you're getting it for. So again, the iPhone 12 Pro 12 is a fantastic device, and it can also fast charge at 15 watts, just like the new iPhone 12 Pros can. So definitely a solid device. Now let's go ahead and talk about the iPhone 12 Pro. So this one, to be honest, I think most people should actually avoid. The iPhone 12 Pro, like most years, there's a difference between the Pro and then the normal standard model, but this year they both have OLED displays. They have the same exact battery size, and the only difference is pretty much only significant difference is that third telephoto camera lens, again, which may not be too significant depending on who you are. So what I believe is the iPhone 12 Pro, again, is I only recommend it is if you need that third telephoto camera lens. But again, it starts at $1,000, when you can actually get the iPhone 12, the regular one, at $799 with carrier deal. Without carrier deal, it's actually $829. So you can, I mean, for me personally, I believe it's worth saving those $60 or $100, depending on which deal you go with. It's worth saving. So again, but if you do decide to get a phone, it is a fantastic device. It does have that, again, the new 5nm A14 processor, super fast phone, 6 gigabytes of RAM, so the apps are going to be kept open a little bit longer. But besides that, there's not that much benefit, which is why I don't really recommend it for most people. It is actually the same exact size as the iPhone 12, so they're actually both 6.1 inches for the display, and they both use the same display technology, unlike previous years where for example, the 11 will be using an LCD panel and then the 12 will be using an OLED panel. This year they're both using OLED. They both have 5G. They both have the same exact battery size. So again, the only difference is that third telephoto camera lens. The speakers are exactly the same. Biometrics are exactly the same. So again, definitely, if you're choosing between the two, I would definitely lean towards the iPhone 12, just because you're going to be saving at least $100, and it's just a better deal overall, and you're not missing out on much if you get the 12 Pro. So now let's talk about the big boy, 6.7 inch display iPhone 12 Pro Max. So as the name suggests, it's the Max phone. It's the biggest phone. It's Apple's baddest phone. So this phone, if you're getting it for someone or getting it for yourself, I feel like you definitely know what you're getting into. It is a much bigger device that's 6.7 inches for the display, so definitely not a one-handed device if you're gonna, you're trying to reach these corners for the control center, scrolling down for notifications. Definitely not the easiest thing you do. You can do it if you're good at like shifting your phone up and down from your hand, then it might be easier for you, but again, you want to be careful and not drop your phone and all that stuff. And typing on the keyboard one-handed is definitely difficult, but you have to like get your thumb across the screen to reach like other parts of it and stuff like that. But yeah, but it does have a lot of benefits as well for being that size. It is perfect for gaming, for content consumption. So if you're watching a lot of movies, a lot of YouTube and things like that on your mobile device, then it's perfect. If you're someone who, and also this year there is probably not a great difference, but there is a difference between the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. When most years, for example, the 11 and 11 Pro Max are pretty much the same exact phone, just smaller body on the 11 Pro. But with the 12 Pro Max and the 12 Pro this year, Apple decided to differentiate with them, introducing a few more camera features inside the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you do get now a sensor shift technology where the sensor inside the camera is shifting. So it does give you better video quality. So if you're someone who likes to vlog or someone who walks around recording a lot, maybe you got a lot of moving subject, maybe your kids or pets or whatever that you're recording, then the iPhone 12 Pro Max should deliver better quality when it comes to recording. And when it comes to taking photos, it does, but since it has bigger sensors and larger sensors inside, in low light situations, you do get better low light photography. So the pictures do come out better if you're hanging out at night, taking nighttime photos, whether of people or buildings or whatever it is that you like to take pictures of. With that being said, you also get the bigger battery, you get the bigger speakers. They all have the same exact 5G network, so you do get the millimeter wave 5G and the sub-6 5G, so you get the fast and then the slower 5G. Pretty much that's the most basic way I can put it. But yeah, so the iPhone 12 Pro Max, again, you get that bigger display. It is a little bit brighter as well. But in terms of function for the device, Apple likes to keep the function streamlined across all iPhones. So across all the iPhone 12s, it's pretty much basic. If you know how to use an iPhone, you can use it. The only difference will probably be the iPhone SE second generation, which we talked about earlier. Since it's using the old form factor, it's the older method of using like the home button, and the gestures might be ever so slightly different. But besides that, everything else is pretty much exactly the same. So just to do a quick recap, because I know I stuttered a lot in between the video, the iPhone SE second gen is for someone who just appreciates the old form factor but wants the newer chips inside of it, so they can get that long-term support from Apple and sense of software updates, and also the phone is going to perform better for longer for having that new chip inside of it. The iPhone 12 mini, someone who wants the new form factor in a smaller body, with the same camera, same chip as its bigger brothers, the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. It has the same chip inside of them as well. It comes with the same 5G antenna bands inside. And then the iPhone 12, which I believe is going to be for most people because it's like at that right size at 6.1 inches. And then also it does have the A14 chip inside. It has a bigger battery inside than the 12 mini, and then of course the SE2. It has the same battery as the iPhone 12 Pro. Same display size, same display quality, same brightness, same speaker quality as well, same form factor obviously. So the iPhone 12, again, the only thing you're going to be missing is that LiDAR sensor and the telephoto lens for that 2x optical zoom. Besides that, you're not missing much. They have the same nighttime capabilities as well. And then we have the iPhone 12 Pro, which again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't think most people should get, just because it's so similar to the normal iPhone 12. I don't see the telephoto lens being $100 extra, being worth $100 extra than the iPhone 12. Starting at, again, the iPhone 12 Pro starts at $999, $1,000, and then the iPhone 12, the regular one, starts at $899. I'm sorry, at $799 or $829, depending if you get that carrier deal or not. And then the iPhone 12 Pro Max, again, I believe it is the Max phone, so it is for someone who wants all the bells and whistles that Apple has to offer with that sensor shift technology inside the camera, the bigger screen, bigger battery, bigger speakers, and also a slightly brighter screen as well. So you do get a few more benefits when you do decide to go with that 12 Pro Max, but then you also got to pay that heftier price, which is at $1099. That's how much it starts off at. And with that being said, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out, guys.